Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. She is somebody that helps people feel total wellness through this thing called Reiki, which is essentially energy healing. And she has a wonderful place in Kentucky called the Reiki Cottage. That's just a piece of what she offers. She runs deep, lots to talk about today. Mediumship readings. She even does Reiki for animals. Can access the Akashic records, which is so much insight in there. And we're going to get her back in here. Ashlie Bradley joins us once again. How you doing today?
I'm well, Steve. Thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah, it's good to have you back here. Before we even begin, and we're going to start with an email that we got. How connected are you with astrology? Just throwing that out there.
I mean, a little. I mean, I guess it would depend on a little bit, not too much, but I might be surprised. Who knows?
I'm just bringing that up because, as I understand it, there's a lot of activity going on right now. There's a Venus retrograde,
yes.
Mercury retrograde kicking in. We have a lunar eclipse the end of this week and a red blood moon, I think.
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot going on. I just did my last Reiki class. So they're going through their 21-day attunement. So yeah, it's a little highly emotional and feeling very sensitive. So yeah, I can see. So yeah, I guess I am deeply connected to that.
Yeah, just I don't know, best description. Just feels heavy, like a heavier feeling right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then strap yourself in. It's going to be a while. It's
Mm-hmm.
a few weeks going on there, but maybe a reason to get Reiki, to feel better, balanced, your energy, changing your energy, right?
Yeah, of course. I totally agree with that, especially since spring is coming, it's kind of represents new life and, new beginnings. So it is a good time, I mean, any time is a good time, but, no time is better than the present.
So I want to share with you, I got an email from Dawn, checks in at instantfeedbacksteve@gmail.com. She's in Albany, New York, and says, I've heard Reiki can be done long distance. Can you tell me how that works?
Yes. So there are certain symbols that you get with Reiki, and there is a distance symbol. So when you have the distance symbol, you are able to connect via vibration to whoever you want to connect with. So obviously, we've talked about they would have to come to me. I'm not going to be abrasive and just send it out willy-nilly in and around. But if anybody did want to come and they did want distant Reiki, it's very easy. It's very easy to achieve. And it does work, and it is extremely beneficial.
I've had it done before, mostly long distance now that I think about it, and have felt the effects. It's amazing. And for anybody that looks at this and thinks, oh, come on, how does that really work? Think of it this way. When you say to somebody, I'm praying for you, that the outcome's going to be okay on your surgery or whatever, or sending positive vibes to you, maybe to you and your family, maybe somebody lives in 5 states away, you're sending a vibration. And that's what Reiki is. When you do it long distance, that's what you're doing, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just the same as sending someone prayers. It's on the same, because I look at it as like, I mean, I don't know, I don't throw religion into this, but I do look at it as like a God vibration. It is like a definitely a spiritual thing, and when I do send it out, I don't, I keep it light and airy, and I only send out love and light. So,
Why don't you ever see this? Like a stadium full of people and somebody doing Reiki on all of them in the stadium. Could that ever work? If so, how would it work? Or does everybody have to give their permission to receive it? Always wondered.
I mean, if somebody had like an all Reiki seminar, then they could definitely do that. They would have to be willing to receive the healing. But yeah, I don't see why that couldn't be achieved at all. That would definitely be, yeah, you could do that.
Because the energy knows no time and space. So you would think, it could connect with those people, but of course they'd have to be open to it. They'd have to
Yes,
allow it.
exactly. Yeah, definitely. And when you are dealing with distant Reiki, that is the thing. The energy does not know time or space. So it's going to go to where it's needed, and all you need is a name or a picture, just like I was doing a mediumship reading, same thing. And then I just would connect by their name. So I did have during Reiki level 2, I do have my students connect with a distant Reiki session. I found it very important that we all do it as a group together, and then they do one by themselves. So I do find people that, are candidates for distant Reiki that, I'm gonna like, hey, would you please be a guinea pig for my class? And they're like, they have no problem with that. So it's been very beneficial for them because, they get, healing from multiple people at the same time and individually. So it's like a double whammy.
Now, you mentioned a mediumship reading, and it sounded like you said you had a picture. Was that a picture of the
Hmm.
person that somebody wanted you to bring forward?
Yes. Yes, it
Okay.
is. Hmm. Yeah.
Hmm. I've never heard that done before. I've never.
Yeah.
Tell me how that helps.
That's fine. So I can either, when I hold their picture or see their name written down or just have their name, it's like I can pick up their vibration. So it doesn't matter if they're here or gone, I can still pick up their vibration. And then I can connect to them that way.
Wow. So it seems like it's almost if somebody has a picture and wants to go that way or that approach, it's like you have a running start, in terms of the
Yes.
reading.
Yeah. So whenever I do events, either at the Finner Viking Festival or at any Lovers Leap or wherever, and I'm doing mediumship readings or cards or runes or whatever I'm doing, um, I do open everything up via vibration. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't necessarily know how I'm doing it. They just know that I'm connecting. So I really challenged myself this year in ways that I've never done it before. So I went and I was doing these events. I did 81 readings in 2 days at the Viking Festival, and that was crazy. And I just did them all via vibration. And I did the same with at the winery. I did them all via vibration. I didn't know any of these people. They would just show up, and I would be like, "What kind of reading would you like?" And they would pick out either mediumship, card, tarot cards, or runes, and I would kind of take it from there. And it was so cool. So if they wanted to be mediumship reading, I would just, kind of grab a name out of the air and, what's their name? Who do you want to connect with? And, obviously not everybody wants to talk to me. But when I can call the name, another family member or someone that knows that person can step forward for them
Wow.
or acting as themselves, like maybe that person doesn't want to talk to them at that moment or doesn't trust the process that I'm giving, that I'm allowing. So whoever wants to come through, I'm opening that floodgate for them.
You've mentioned runes and you've said that before.
Hmm.
I loosely have an idea what they are, but not really a lot. I mean, can you tell us about those?
Yeah, so it's like an ancient alphabet from like back in the Viking era. So it's like what the Vikings used. So it's like their alphabet. So at the festival, I'm serious or ire, and so I decided to incorporate the runes with that. So I walk around and wherever I'm at, people come up to me and I'll do a reading right there for them on the spot. I'll just pull three. I have my little bag out and they'll pull three. I don't know, it might be over here yet.
Oh, cool.
So here's my runes.
Hmm.
I wanted jade and gold, and I found them. So I'll just pull one for you.
Now let's
And
before we do that,
yeah,
let's set it up. Do you need
okay.
a question when you pull one? What is it representing? Tarot cards, oracle cards. I kind of got an idea of that about that, but runes, no.
So runes are basically the same thing as like a tarot or oracle reading. So it's basically when I pull a rune, I'm pulling a letter from the alphabet, which is connected to a letter, and then also like significant meanings. So, do you have a question? I'll just pull one out.
Do I need to state the question or do I just think the question?
You don't need to start it. You can just think it, and you know.
Let me think about this.
Okay.
What type of is it? Looking for a yes or no kind of answer.
We can. It just depends on what your question is. It can be yes or no, and then I can pull it and we could take it from there.
Okay. Working on starting a new business and wondering, typical question, will it be successful or how I'm pretty confident it's going to do well. How long it's going to take, don't know. So I don't know if that, how we phrase a question to work there.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so you got this rune right here. It looks kind of like this sign, like the more than or less than sign.
Oh,
So that means change. So change is definitely coming. Did you see it?
oh, you know what? I really can.
Yeah.
It's pretty
So
damn
change
clear.
is definitely coming, and you also got rebirth. So yeah, it's a B. I don't know if you can see it that way or
I
this
totally
way.
can see it. Totally can see
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so you got change and rebirth. So definitely that will be definitely successful for you.
How
Yep.
how does
Just
that
jump.
translate the reverse? Like, give me that. I'm trying to understand that.
Well, I was just trying to show you the way that I see it because I know that it's backwards for you. You know what I mean? So, um, it looks like a V for me,
So
like
I
a
got that.
sideways V. Yeah. And
How
then
do how do those two runes translate to um, what you're saying? Successful
yeah. Okay, so the meaning, this means change.
change.
This
Gotcha.
one means, yeah, change, and this one means rebirth.
Rebirth. My
Yeah.
bad. I thought you
Yeah.
said. I thought you said reverse. I'm like, well, wait a
Oh,
minute.
no,
We're going
I'm
backwards.
sorry. Rebirth. Rebirth. They could have glitched there. Who knows?
Now I
'Cause,
got it.
yeah,
Rebirth. All right. Okay.
yeah,
So that
change of birth. Yeah. So I would say jump, go for it. Yeah. I mean, you can't go wrong there.
interesting. Wow. And
Hmm.
then you're just randomly pulling those out. There's no.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I'm talking to you, I'm in your field, you're in my field,
Uh-huh.
so I'm able to do those things. It's just what I do. So obviously from this, I can build a whole conversation with you. So when somebody comes up to me at a festival, they may be a little nervous about talking to me, which is, I look a little different, I am all made up. So um, it might be a little intimidating. I don't really look like myself. And so I kind of ease their mind. I don't know them from Adam. And so I let them pick out whatever modality they would like to use. And then I can build like a whole conversation with them. So even if they don't have a question, in mind, because it is a festival, a lot's going on, loud music and, people everywhere. I still try to make it an intimate and like bring them into my bubble. It doesn't matter what's going on around us. Like it's between them and I.
So it sounds like when you work with somebody, you craft the story, but the story is true. It's surrounding them and it's surrounding the information that you get from the runes or maybe the cards, but you turn it into a story.
110%. Yes.
Wow.
So yeah, and I don't know them, so I can pick things up. So from their question, it's like, okay, and then I can kind of build a whole scenario of what's going on, and then, you know, and then we just take it from there. So it's been very interesting and a lot of fun. And like I said, I did 81 readings in 2 days.
Wow.
And that was a whole lot. I took a long nap the following day. And it was
Ah,
really cool though. Yeah. But with Reiki, I can cut off other people's energy. So I can do the 81 readings and be fine.
Ashley, I just logistically doing that can drain anybody, but now you have the connection of the energy and all that going on
Mhm.
there. That has to be a major drain. And then you got to cleanse that energy. You're going home with that. That's, there's a lot
Mhm.
going on there.
There is a lot going on there, but I love doing it. I love, being an outlet for someone who doesn't understand, like when I was like 16, I started with cards because I knew that I could communicate with spirits, but I didn't know how. So that's how I learned how to communicate with spirits, was through tarot cards. And then I picked up the runes later in life, and it was just easy for me. It was just like, bam, okay, this is what I should be doing. So I kind of took it from there. And it was just that easy. You don't even have to ask me a question, or you can think it, and then whatever, because you're in my bubble, and we're in each other's bubble, actually, or I invited you into my bubble. I am able to pick up your vibration and kind of work from there.
So cool. I'm fascinated how the story goes. Let's say somebody said, "Yeah, I'm starting a business. I'm going to roll now. I'm going to turn it hypothetically focused." And you pulled the two runes you just pulled. Would it go even
Mhm.
deeper for them to ask more questions? Like, for example, I just hired somebody new. Do you think they're going to work out? And that's part of the story. And then it
Yeah,
just
we can definitely build from there. So a lot of times people are like, I don't know about this rune business, or I don't know. So I was like, that's fine. I'll pull the cards. We can do both. So, and then we can build it from there. And then they don't, it's kind of like, the runes are powerful. I love working with them. Um, it's just been really cool and rewarding.
What's your favorite when it comes to cards? When it comes to runes, do you have a preference?
Cards, oh man, I don't know. It's almost a toss up. Like I've been doing cards for so long, bringing the runes in was kind of a nice, um, you
Change up.
know, definitely, yeah.
Hmm. Did you know how to read runes? Going way back, was that just kind of one of your things, like you picked up on?
I didn't know that I could, but after I picked them up, I definitely knew I was able to understand them immediately. It was really wild. I thought that it was going to take a long time for me to understand, the meanings and how to do it. And it was like a connection that was waiting for me to pick it up.
I'm fascinated by how this all works. The seeing the rune, interpreting it, like the greater than sign, the first one that you showed me. That's the best way I can
Mhm,
describe it.
mhm.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
like, how did you know what that would mean?
Well, it's just each rune has like a different meaning. So just like each tarot card has a different meaning. So it's basically almost the same. It's just there's only 24 runes,
Okay.
and there's a lot more cards. So it's not as with cards they can go a little bit more in depth, but the runes can do pretty much the same exact thing, just more. They don't mess around. It's just to the point.
Well, I would see that if there's only 24, it's there's
Yeah.
no time to get right to it, and this is
hmm
it. Hmm,
hmm
fascinating. Wow.
Yeah.
How often do you do medium readings?
Let's see. I have 4 coming up next week. Um, and then I have a clearing. I'm doing a massive clearing on a huge property, and a few Akashic record readings coming up as well, and one on a historic property, which I'm really excited about. I've done a mediumship reading and a clearing over there, so now they want me to do the records on their property. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited about what I'm going to meet over there, and I don't know, it's just many doors are opening. So yeah,
So I'm intrigued about the clearing. When I think of that, I think of just a house. It sounds like you're doing the entire property.
I am. It's about 60 acres
Oh my
that I'll be
gosh.
clearing. Yeah, and there's about 8 buildings on the property, including a home. So yeah, it's going to be a doozy, and I've kind of allotted a whole day to that process. Um, yeah, so I'm excited. I'm going to definitely clear. I know that there's 3 entities there that would like, I don't know, that are very excited about me coming, but I'm definitely going to be clearing them out. And then I don't know what else is waiting for me. I'll just figure it out when I get there.
Okay, let me make sure I get that right. You
Yeah.
already know some of the, call them entities, spirits, whatever.
Mhm.
Um, you've already picked up on that before you've gone there.
Yes, I picked up on a man and a woman that were in a relationship, and then I picked up on another man, and they're from different time periods. So the man by himself is from like way back. I'm talking like plantation days, so like 17, 1800s. And then the man and the woman, they're more from like 1930s, 1940s. So they're not related whatsoever. So I'm excited to see what I'm walking into.
Excited, apprehensive at all?
Not really. No, this is when it comes to paranormal, it's more of like a rush for me. And when it comes to like real life, I'm scared of real life things, not like paranormal things. So the normal things that people are like not afraid of, I'm afraid of. But like when it comes to paranormal, I'm fearless. So
Wow. Okay, so when we talk about the normal things, give me an example. Normal life thing.
like crowds make
Okay,
intimidate me. Yeah,
gotcha. Well,
yeah.
I'm going to go on a little limb here and say maybe that's because of the energy that there's, so much energy in a crowd.
Uh, Good point. Yeah, I never even put two and two together. But yeah, actually, that's an excellent point. Yeah. I mean, you're an empath and I'm an empath, just feeling everyone's emotions and it can be a little overwhelming. No, more than a little.
I have no issues with crowds, but there
Mhm.
have been times in the past 6 months in certain gatherings of a lot of people, it didn't feel right. Where I'm just like, I don't want to be here. This is just not. And I don't know if it was more negative energy around. I don't know, but it just didn't. I should have been fine with it. It's just like, I don't want to be here. It's just I can't put my finger on it. Do you feel
Yeah.
that sometimes?
Oh, I do, definitely. Yeah,
Wow.
definitely. So when I was scared to death to do the Viking festival because I'm out there in front of all these people. I have an 8-foot staff, so you can see wherever I go, and people are coming up to me left and right. So I had to really douse myself in Reiki, and I even did like some quantum hypnotherapy to help with that, just so I could really get out there. And plus, I'm in character, so I don't look like myself. So I'm able to, kind of step aside and let myself go.
Yeah, love it. Love it. So cool learning about this. Runes, that's a new one for me. Check that one off the box. Best way to find you, Ashley, everything we're talking about here, aside from the clearings where I would think you'd
Mhm.
have to be on site, all virtual. So how do we find you?
You can find me on Facebook. You can find me the ReikiCottage.com. You can find me Reiki Cottage Kentucky at Gmail. My website, or I don't know. I think I just jumbled everything over, but that's pretty much how you can find me. And it's KY Kentucky.
The
Like
Reiki
for
Cottage KY.com.
Yes.
Got it. Very cool. Thanks so much for today. Really learned a lot. Really cool. And looking forward next time we get together.
Yeah. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.